Welcome to the Nothing Much Just Chillin' Show with your hosts Emma and Julio. Nothing much, just chillin' show. Nothing much, just a chillin'.
Welcome back to NMJC, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Emma, and so sorry that this episode is so delayed and we haven't had an episode in the last couple weeks. Life has just been a lot. Have you guys been going through it the past few weeks? Like, how are you? Are you okay? Like, is everybody doing okay? Last episode, we were in the dark in my bed and we were getting intimate, guys. We were really intimate. But I was talking about how I was leaving in a couple hours to go to the airport to go back home to Maryland because I was traveling for my sister's wedding. Her wedding was in Delaware, and I'll get into that. But first, flew into Baltimore, had a couple days in Maryland before the wedding, and I had the pleasure of seeing my friends Natalie and Erica for the first time in a really long time. Well, Natalie I saw in June when I went home because I did a photo shoot with her, but Erica I haven't seen in several years. So it was really, really nice to like hang out with them and see them. And then also it was really great for me to practice my speech on other people because I've just been practicing, well, mostly just to myself, by myself, but I've been practicing in front of Julio and my best friend Esme, and they've both heard it like so many fucking times. So it was really nice to have like new people to say it to, and I said it like so many times, and probably the first like 100 times that I practiced my speech, I would cry at certain points. Like I would tear up at certain things that I said. I practiced so much, well, just to get it down, obviously. Like I wanted to memorize it really well, but also I didn't want to get emotional. Like I was thinking in my head, like I don't want to cry. Like that's embarrassing. Not embarrassing, but like I was just worried that if I cry, that'll trip me up and I'll lose my place. And I wanted to have I really wanted to have the speech so down pat that even if I cried, I wouldn't lose my place and I wouldn't lose momentum or my mind wouldn't go blank. Like nothing of that sort would happen. Like I just wanted to be ready for any emotion that I had. And so when I was giving my speech to Natalie, Erica, and Julio, I was pretty high, and I was like, you know what, this is good. This is good. Like I have practiced so many times when I'm like so tired, just in case like I'm really tired the day of the wedding, and like I don't know, I just wanted to practice for like any kind of feeling that I might have that day. And so I was high when I was performing it for them, and well, they were laughing, and which is really great because I think there are like so many parts of my speech that were really funny, and I wanted people to laugh at certain points. And you know, Esme and Julio have been laughing at certain points, but they've just like heard it so many times that I think their laughs are just like more like low key, and it doesn't really throw me off. But Natalie and Erica were laughing so much that I couldn't stop laughing, and there was many points where I was like had to take a break. I was like, oh no. And then I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get through it without having like a laugh attack. I'm like, great. First I was worried about crying and getting too emotional. Now I'm worried about laughing and ruining it. So which I don't think laughing would ever ruin it, because I think it's just natural. If you see somebody laughing, you know, it's just contagious. But yeah, it was really funny, but it was really, really nice to be able to do it for other people and have one more group of people to perform it for before I did it in front of 120 people. So that was really nice. Thank you, Natalie and Erica, for letting me practice on you guys. I love you both so much, and I hope we can see each other again very soon. And yeah, okay, so the wedding. It was the most beautiful day ever. The wedding was absolutely stunning. Like, Olivia should be a wedding planner by like how good she planned this wedding. I mean, she had her own wedding planner, but she just like added so many details. I mean, she knew what she wanted, but she is just like queen of weddings. Like, it's crazy. Like, every little detail was thought of. Like, every single thing was so beautiful and perfect. And yeah, it was just like the most stunning wedding I've ever fucking, well, one, been to, and two, like, ever seen anywhere ever. Like, the venue was amazing. It was called Winter, you know what? I don't really know how to properly pronounce it, but Winterthur in Delaware. It's actually a place in Switzerland too. There's like a lot of history behind it that I'm not going into, but my mom's best friend, Miss Betty Ann, she gave me the rundown of like the whole history of it at the cocktail hour, and it was really interesting. But yeah, super pretty venue, castle, princess vibes. It was just the most stunning day, and like Olivia looked so beautiful. So beautiful. When we did like our first look for like all the bridesmaids went down to her room and we had like a first look with us of her in her dress, and yeah, I was just like speechless. Like, her dress was amazing. It was Monique Houllier was the brand, and then Olivia herself, she sewed on these like custom flowers that she got, and it was beautiful. It was the most unique dress. It was so feminine and just looked like a princess, but it was so unique. Like, I feel like when you think of like a princess dress, you just have an image in your mind of like what it looks like, and hers was just so different. It had these like cool like pleats right here, and then had like tulle like sleeves and tulle here. And yeah, I mean, you can see the pictures on, I mean, her Instagram if you follow her, but my Instagram as well, and my film Instagram, because I took pictures. Going back to the first look. So when we had like the first look with her in her room, I gave her a present. I made her like a little Polaroid booklet from the Polaroids that we took at the bachelorette weekend in Vegas. And I made this cute little booklet with all the Polaroids. And yeah, she cried, which I felt really bad about because we were all like ready to go, like her makeup's done. And I was like, shit, I really should have given this to her like earlier in the day, like when she didn't have all her makeup on, so that she wouldn't cry at all. But no, it was fine. And luckily the makeup artist, Caitlin, she is amazing, and she stayed for like touch-ups and stuff. I mean, like, she was hired to stay for touch-ups, so it was no problem. But yeah, I just like felt bad. It's like, oh wait, no, don't cry yet. We need this makeup to stay all night. And then yeah, when we got to the venue, it was just so pretty. And the first pictures that were taken were just of Olivia and Matt, and they had their first look, and then they did their vows. And that's something that is really cool that they did, actually. So most people say their vows obviously like during the ceremony, and sometimes they're really long, and then two, you cry a lot. You really do. You cry a lot, and then you're like crying during your pictures of your ceremony. It's probably not cute, but that's probably not the reason why they did that. They just did it because they wanted it to be more personal. And so they did their vows in this like castle tower. If you go to my film Instagram, you can see a picture of them kissing in it, and that was like right after they did their vows to each other. But you know, it was totally private, nobody could hear. Like, all us photographers were away from them. And okay, so obviously I was not the paid photographer for this wedding. Obviously I have to be in the pictures, and Olivia is very particular about what she wants, especially in photographers, so I was just not on the list of people because I had other jobs to do. I had to hold the rings, guys. I had to be in charge of the rings. Like, I was before walking down the aisle, I was just I had Matt's ring on my thumb to keep safe. So yeah, they did their vows, and then we did more pictures with just them. So Olivia had hired a photographer, and he has a team. So the photo video team in total was Lance, the main photographer, and then he had 2 women photographers on his team. So there was 3 professional photographers there, not including me. And there was a videographer and her second shooter. So there was 5 of them plus me. So it was like 6 people trying to get this content at the same time. But I think, well, one, Lance was really nice in that I don't think he got too annoyed that I was also taking pictures, but also like I was thinking like, oh, like I really don't want to like step on people's toes, right? But this venue and Olivia, it was too beautiful not to photograph. I just couldn't not take pictures. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, maybe you don't know what I mean because your passion maybe isn't taking photos like it is for me, but it was too beautiful and she was too beautiful to not take pictures of her. And it was the most stunning day, even if the weather was bad, like even if it was raining, snowing, hail, she would still be too beautiful not to take pictures of. And that's how I feel. And like I said, like I don't want to step on people's toes. I know she hired these professional photographers. I totally understand why she didn't want me to do it. And, like I remember when she was going through different photographers to hire, I like kept on being like, I can do it. If I need to be in a picture, I can just give the camera to Julio. Like, he knows. You can press a button. And my mom and my sister were like, no, you can't. You have to be in them. And Olivia's very particular, so you don't want to deal with her and blah, blah, blah. So I was just thinking the whole time that I was taking pictures there. Like, if Olivia likes one of these pictures, it'll be a success. And I think she did because she posted them. So that was my wedding gift to them. But like I said, like I'm a photographer. Like my passion is taking photos. Like it was too beautiful not to photograph, and it was just one of those days where like you want to stop time. I do stop time with my job. Like that is something I do. Like taking a photo is stopping time. It's capturing that moment, and that is so important to me in my job, like with my paid clients, when I do fashion weeks and events, and like even just taking pictures of Julio and myself in our daily life. Like I am so passionate about stopping time and creating that moment so that I have that moment forever. And so I didn't really ask because I'd rather ask to be forgiven than like ask for permission. So I just kind of went, and like I said, like I don't think Lance really minded at all. Like he did make a joke like, your pictures can't be better than mine, which, it's not about being like better or worse or whatever. They're going to be different, but they're going to be, his photos are going to be beautiful, my photos are beautiful. Like there's no competition. Like it's just, it was a moment that I wanted to capture so bad. I just couldn't not, I just couldn't not. That is, to sum this up of me taking pictures of the wedding, like I just couldn't not. It was an innate reaction, and it was something that I needed to do. And even after the wedding, like I was really sad. Maybe I'm jumping too far ahead, but I was really sad like at the end of the night and the next like week, because I was just thinking like, oh my God, like, because I didn't take pictures the whole time, I was actually at the cocktail hour, which was right after the ceremony, was right next to where the ceremony was. was the cocktail hour, and it was just beautiful. I'm sorry, I can't think of like more words than like beautiful and stunning, but like gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. And right before we went down to get lined up to walk down the aisle, I like was having so many internal battles in my mind and in my heart. I'm like, should I take my camera? Should I just take my digicam? Should I just take my phone? Should I have something? Because I know myself. I know that if something is beautiful, I'm gonna want to take a picture of it. Like, that's just how my mind and my heart works. I was like, I could bring my backpack up, like hide it in the like castle area. Like I could hide it so that I can just have it at cocktail hour and I can take pictures then or whatever. But then I was thinking like, I was like looking down at the ring on my thumb, Matt's ring on my thumb, and then just thinking about like, okay, I just took a bunch of pictures. Now I need to just be myself. Now I need to be Emma, the sister, okay? Now I need to be Emma, the ring bearer. Like, I can't be Emma, the photographer right now. Like, I have several jobs to do right now. And the most important being, don't trip. So, because I was wearing like pretty high heels, and oh my God, they hurt because I was taking so many, I was like running around taking pictures of Matt and Olivia with, the photographers and videographers right before the ceremony, right before we took like family pictures too. So I was like not thinking. I was like literally running, jogging across the grass of this venue in my heels and just not thinking like, I really should have done this barefoot. Like I really should have taken these off because now my feet are in such pain. Like I cannot walk. Like, I cannot be stable with these heels right now. And my mom's probably listening to this. Like, I told you so. I told you I could get you more comfortable heels. I had them ready for you. And like, yeah, I know, Mom, but like the heels that I had were so pretty. Like, I didn't want to not wear them. I messed up by wearing them the entire time that I was taking pictures before the actual ceremony. Because then I was thinking, oh my God, like I need to not trip. That is the only thing that I can think of, and the ring on my finger. So I decided against it. I decided, you know what? I'm just going to have the wedding coordinator people take care of my backpack, and it'll be fine because my job right now is to be myself, which is ironic because I think being myself is taking pictures, but you know what I mean? Like I was just like, I just need to be Emma, younger sister to Olivia right now. I need to be Emma, maid of honor right now. I cannot think about pictures when we have 3 professional paid photographers there. It's gonna be fine. You hear the pain in my voice. It's gonna be fine. It wasn't fine, guys. No, okay, spoiler alert, it's all gonna be fine, but like, it wasn't fine at the time. I'm walking down the aisle, and I have a lot of regrets, which is silly because you know what? It is what it is, but I regret focusing so much on not tripping. Well, I regret like wearing the heels for so long before I actually had to like walk down, but I regret focusing on not tripping. I was like looking down at the ground, like I feel like I was whatever, it doesn't matter, but apparently Julio was looking at me the whole time that I was walking down. He was one of the groomsmen, and I just forgot to look at him. Like I wanted to look at him, like I wanted to look at Matt, but like I think the photographers and like videographers in front of my face just really like threw me off, and then I was just like thinking like, oh my God, I can't run into them, I can't trip. Like I was just, so much was going through my mind. I'm like, I have to be perfect. Am I holding the bouquet the right way? Is my like dress, like can people see my underwear through my dress? Like I was just like overthinking. I was just too in my head and not like living in the moment, which I just wish so much that I had just calmed myself before somehow. But I think I was just so worried that day I was just so focused about being perfect in all the things that I had to do, that I didn't really allow my like emotions to come through. Like I didn't really cry. And so, when I got up there, I think I did calm down a bit, and I was just I think I did do a good job of like taking it all in, but it was crazy, like being there the day before doing the rehearsal. Like I was tearing up during the rehearsal when Julio was walking my mom down the aisle. And I'm like sad that I like didn't get to see that in real time, like at the ceremony. I'm sad that I didn't get to see Julio walking down with my mom, but like I like want to cry about it right now. But it was so precious that that my mom wanted Julio to do that. And I think it's traditionally like a brother that does that, or the mom's dad, and my grandpa has passed. So yeah, it was really nice that he did that. Okay. Anyways, so I feel like when I was standing up there, I was taking it all in, and holy fucking shit. Like it just felt like a movie. It was so stunning. Like there was lights everywhere. Everyone in the audience looked so nice, and it was like all the greenery, like it was the flowers, it was absolutely breathtaking. And Olivia walking down the aisle with my dad was absolutely, oh my God, it was just so precious. And this moment only happens like once in my life. So I was just trying to take it all in. Yeah, and the ceremony was really great. Brian, the officiant, did a really good job. And yeah, everything was absolutely perfect. And then we go to the cocktail hour, and I start talking to people. And like while I'm talking to people, I'm like, okay, yeah, like this is what I need to be doing. Like I said, like I just need to be Emma, Olivia's younger sister right now. I need to be part of the family. Like I need to be talking to the people who've traveled so far, like my cousins from France. Like I kind of really only hung out with my cousins from France, but that's okay because they're the ones who traveled so far, and like I don't get to see them that often, so it's really nice to be able to hang with them. But the more I like sat down and like rested my feet, the more I allowed my mind to go to, oh my God, like looking around, everything's stunning. There's a reflecting pool. Like it was crazy. It was crazy how beautiful it was. And I got really upset that I didn't even have my phone with me. I couldn't take any pictures of it. And it really got me upset. And like, you're probably like thinking like, Emma, like chill out. Like, and I know, and it gives me comfort knowing that like the photographers were there. There was 3 professional photographers. Like they definitely took pretty pictures of this scene, but I'm just so biased towards my own eye, which I mean, it's good. Like it's good that like I like my eye, and I like how I take pictures. It's a good thing because like I'm just growing more and more confident every time I shoot. But yeah, I was getting so upset that I didn't have my cameras. And yeah, by the end of it, like when it was like time to go to the reception, I was like almost in tears thinking like, oh no, but I didn't capture this. Like I didn't get a photo. But yeah, I just need to I need to chill out. I was not hired that day to take photos. I was doing my job. I was doing the jobs that I was meant to do, okay? I was just not remembering that like the reception would also be so beautiful, and that's where like my cameras were, and my phone and everything. So I was just, I was being a little bitch, honestly. But we go to the reception, and it was, again, stunning. The most stunning. There was like too many pretty things to look at, and I was just trying to take all the pictures. I was trying to do all the things. There was a photo booth. There was a cool like outside area. They had a champagne tower. Like the cake was beautiful. Obviously, dance floor. All the decorations, all the decor. Like they had a DJ. Like it was just a disco ball. Like everything was so perfect, and everything was so like well thought out. And I just wanted to take it all in by taking pictures of everything. So I tried my best to take as many pictures as possible, but I also was, again, talking to a lot of people, which I wish my speech was earlier in the night, because I feel like talking to a lot of people. Like, I was talking to a lot of people the day before too, at the rehearsal dinner and the welcome party. Like, I feel like my voice was really tired by the time it was time to give my speech. And I was meant to give my speech at like 9, I think was the schedule, but we were behind schedule, so I didn't end up giving my speech till 10. And if you know me, that's like way past my bedtime for like a day that like has sucked a lot of my energy out. I'm just a very introverted person. I mean, it was so good to talk to everyone, and I'm really like, now at this point, see, I needed to wait to do this episode until I like processed everything and really came to terms with like, it was perfect. Everything I did was perfect. Like, my regrets, whatever, throw them away, forget them, and it's okay. It's okay that you didn't take as many pictures as you wanted, even though it was really, really sad that night and the day after and like the week after, honestly, because I was just thinking like, oh, the reason why I didn't take so many pictures was because my speech, like, I wasn't nervous like any time until like right before, until like 8:30. I started getting like really nervous and started going over my speech in my notes app, started like saying it to myself. Like, I started like meditating, like I was closing my eyes. Like, it was like I was an athlete preparing for a game. Like, I was in the zone, trying to like protect my energy, but yeah, people just kept on talking to me. I kept on like tiring out my voice. Long story short, my speech went very well. I didn't mess up at all. And everybody, complimented me so much. Like, Olivia and Matt loved my speech so much, and I really loved the way it came out, except I just wish that like I had a little bit more liveliness to my voice, because I feel like I practiced it that way, but I was just so tired at that point. I feel like my voice sounded really tired, but it's fine. It is what it is. And then Sean, the best man, who's Matt's brother, his speech was amazing too. Ours kind of like coexisted very well. Like, we kind of talked about like similar things that really like brought it all together, and it was really nice. And then my dad's speech was insane. It was amazing. It was so funny and heartfelt and touching, and there was not a dry eye in that reception hall. So if you're listening, good job, Dad. Because I didn't have anything written down. It just like kind of went off the top of his head, which is crazy because I could never do that. He's a true Leo. I think Leos are good. They're good bullshitters, but they're also good at like being on the spot and like coming up with something. And I just like can't. Like, I'm a Pisces. Like, I need to know what I'm gonna say before I'm saying it in front of a lot of people. It was an amazing speech. I think we all did a great job, which it was just a true testament to the day. Like, it just fit in. Like, if we messed up, like if none of us had like good speeches, it would be like it wouldn't match the vibe. Like, the vibes were perfect. The vibes were perfection. That was the vibe. That's what I was trying to be all day. And I barely cried. Like, I teared up a few times, but I was just like thinking the whole time, like, oh, I have this makeup on. Caitlin, the makeup artist, she's here for touch-ups, but like, and she touched me up so nicely, graciously, when I was taking pictures of Matt and Olivia. But I was just thinking like, oh, she's here for Olivia. Like, if Olivia cries, she touches her up, and I just don't want to be a burden. I want to be perfect. So I think because of that, I really like kept my emotions down. And I think that's also why I was so sad at the end of the night. Aside from not taking as many pictures as I wish I did, I was sad because I didn't give myself like an opportunity to release, if that makes sense. Like, crying is so healthy. Crying is such a natural reaction to your sister getting married and it being the most perfect day. Like, it's very natural, and I didn't allow myself to because I just had so many jobs. I was trying to do so many things, take so many pictures. Like, I was trying to be so like put together when I'm not. Like, I'm so imperfect. I feel like that makes no sense, but like hopefully you get what I mean by that. But no, I'm fine. Like I'm so happy the way things happened, and this past weekend, well, okay. So that's to wrap it up. It was, do you know what I'm going to say? It was the entire wedding, the entire day, even the rehearsals and everything, the invitations, like just every single amount of like time and effort that Olivia, Matt, my mom, and my dad put into planning this wedding, and the wedding planner and the makeup artist Caitlin and her team and Lance and his team, like everything. And the venue, oh my God, everything was, say it with me, the highest form of art. It really was. It was the highest form of art. And I mean that like not in like a funny, like Love Island is the highest form of art kind of way. No, like this was the highest form of art I've ever seen in my entire life. So yeah, congrats to Matt and Olivia. And yeah, I'm so excited that they had the best day ever, and I'm so grateful to have been there, and I'm so grateful to be a little sister to them both. So that next week, we come back on Monday, we have a day to like reset, chill, and then I go to work, and then I have a shoot on Friday. It was just like my schedule has been wake up, work before work, drive an hour to work, do my personal work at work, sometimes if I have nothing to do, and on my lunch break, and then come home, an hour and a half commute home, work more, and then go to bed and do the same thing the next day. And I'm someone who needs a lot of sleep. I'm someone who needs like 10 to 11 hours, or else I get grumpy and I get stressed and I get just I overwork myself, I overwhelm myself, and then I'll like ruin my relationship. It's just like no shit, Emma. Like you would feel like so overworked, and I hadn't had that release of like crying from the wedding too, so it was just a lot. It was a really hard week last week, and that's why I just like couldn't get an episode out or find time to record it at all, because I was a mess. Like we were supposed to see Marlon Craft on Thursday night last week. We went to Crossroads. Love Crossroads. Saw Mila there. Mila's my friend. She's a host at Crossroads in Los Angeles, but she'll be on the podcast soon, so look out for that. Anyways, so we went to Crossroads to eat something before we went to Marlon Craft, and we parked near the venue, and I just started falling asleep, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this show. So that sucks that I was like too tired to go see Marlon Craft, because I love Marlon Craft, but we'll see him another time, hopefully. And because the next night we were going to see Steve Lacy, who is one of Julio's favorite artists, and I love Steve Lacy too, and we were going to see him at the Greek. Last time we went to the Greek, it's in Griffith Park, if you don't know, and it's an outdoor theater. Last time we went to the Greek was to see Jungle, and I remember that I had my little Digicam there, because I remember recording videos of Jungle on my Digicam. So I brought my Digicam and I had it in my purse, and we had parked and like taken like a 30-minute shuttle, or maybe it wasn't 30 minutes, but it was a long shuttle. So when we were checking through security, like just remember, like I've had a very stressful long week. I hadn't had like any release of emotion from the wedding. Like it was all, I was just a mess. I was overworked, overwhelmed, tired, all the things, right? And they tell me when I'm going through security, I open my purse and they say no cameras, and I say it doesn't have a detachable lens. I'm such a brat about things like that, because like my phone takes better quality than the fucking Digicam that I have. Like it, what the fuck? And I got so upset. I was literally fighting with the lady. I'm like, it doesn't have a detachable lens. Like it's fine. Like it's totally fine. She was like, there's no cameras allowed. And so I go through, and she was like, someone will escort you. You can either bring it to your car, which, like I said, we took a shuttle there, so I can't do that. You can either put it back in your car, or you can check it in with guest services and you can get it after the show. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. That's another thing about me. I hate authority. I hate authority. Authority can suck my dick, genuinely. So whatever, they make me go through, and then I grab my purse, like thinking like I'm just gonna run. Like I'm just literally gonna like walk by guest services or whatever and like not give them my camera. But they have like an escort security person like waiting for me. And she like is like, give me the camera, give me the camera. And I was like, no. Just being such a fucking bitch, but like, what can you do? I don't know. I was really down bad. Like I was really, really going through it, and my emotions were coming out in like pure rage. And them taking away cameras, like any time it says no cameras or like taking cameras away, like it's a threat to creativity. And that's very serious to me. When I'm checking it in, she's like, okay, yeah, here's your thing. And I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. He said that to her face. And she was like, okay. And then I sat down at a picnic table and cried. Just cried. I had a mental breakdown because that was my last straw. That was my last straw. Long story short, I like cried a lot that night. When Steve Lacey came on, I was okay. Like it was all right, but it was a rough weekend after that. A lot of crying, a lot of feeling my emotions and releasing my emotions that I did not release the weekend before. This past week at the Getty, like I can stop whenever I want. They just like keep on extending it because they like me there, which is really, really nice. But I like read on an email on Monday that Thursday was going to be my last day. And then immediately in my head, instead of being like, oh, they don't want me anymore, I was like, oh. I was relieved, because my life isn't like what it was in July when I started this Getty job. Like I actually have so much work to do for clients now that I just can't do that schedule anymore. I can't wake up super early and work and edit and then leave my house at 6:50 to get there at 8 and then have a whole day there and then leave there at 5, get home at 6:40 and then work the second I get in the door. Like I just can't do that anymore. Like I was killing myself, honestly, and I just wasn't taking care of like my mental or physical health. And now that I have another form of steady income / just so much more work to do than I had in July, I was just like, it's time for me to leave this job. And yeah, so Thursday was my last day, and I'm so grateful for the time there, and I have a really good relationship with them and the head of HR. Like she's just like this wonderful human being. But she told me that if I ever want to come back, they will find space for me somewhere at the Getty. So that is very, very comforting, especially in the new year, if we move somewhere on the west side where I'll be closer to the Getty and like I want to go back, like it's always an option. And I also have a very, very good, strong relationship with my temp agency that they, like yesterday, it was my last day and I got like 3 calls for like 3 jobs that they wanted to see if I wanted to take, and I just declined them because right now I just need to focus on the editing that I have to do for my big clients. So yeah, so maybe I'll take on more temp jobs in the new year, especially when I move closer to the west side. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And I really need to give myself a break and take care of my mental and physical health, and I'm really excited now to do that. And one way that I am taking care of myself is by being sober. Smoking weed was not the cause of my stress and anxiety these past couple weeks, months, but it definitely doesn't help when you're trying to numb your feelings and escape reality all the time, you know? I got to deal with my shit. I haven't smoked in a week, and it's been really, really nice to have a little break, and I'll probably smoke on Thanksgiving, and then after that, very sparsely. So, but with quitting weed comes like some crazy dreams. Like I've been having some crazy vivid dreams the past week. I had a dream that I met Drake, and I was like stuttering. And I was like, "Hi, my name's Aubrey." Oh, that's your name. Side note, I feel like talking to the few times that I've talked to celebrities, I've been like very fucking nervous and like stuttering. We recently ran into Phineas, and I've run into him before, him and Claudia at a vegan restaurant, but we ran into just Phineas at this vegan bakery that we go to a lot, and I talked to him, and when I was talking to him, I was definitely like stuttering, like I was so nervous. Like, of course I was like being nice, like, and he was so nice. Like, he's a great person, like love him. Like was so nice to even give his time to us and talk to us, and yeah, he's great. But I was like stuttering and like so nervous when talking to him. And I think that was like before I had this dream with Drake, and like I had that same, I'm like, oh fuck, I really need to like not do that when I talk to celebrities. Like I really need to like just be better at speaking, you know? And last night, this is very exciting, guys. Last night, obviously yesterday was my last day at the Getty. Afterwards, like I rushed home. I had like 10 minutes to get ready before we needed to be in an Uber to go to Dodger Stadium to see Elton John. Julio got us tickets through his work to see Elton John, and Elton John is one of Julio's favorite artists ever. When Julio started playing the piano, he started off playing Elton John songs, and yeah, it's just a very special artist to him, so it's really amazing that he got to see him. And I have so many videos of Julio just enjoying the concert, and they're so precious. And I love that he got to have that experience, and I'm glad that I was with him too, because I mean, Elton John's just like, I wouldn't say like I'm like a huge fan of his music, but he's such a cute little man. He's so precious, and it was a great show, and it was just really nice and special to be there. But at a certain point in the show, towards the end, Julio was like, "All right, I have to go to the bathroom." And I was like, "Can you wait?" Like it wasn't going to be that much longer. And he's like, "No, I have to go. Do you want to come?" And I was thinking like, "Oh, like I'll just sit here. It's fine." But then I was thinking it was so cold. It was at Dodger Stadium. It was outside, and it was so cold last night. And I was like, "You know what? I'm going to go with you just to like walk around and like warm up." So we go to the bathroom. I take this cute little video of Julio dancing to whatever song Elton John was playing on the way to the bathroom. You can see it on my Instagram story. And and get to the bathroom, and I don't have to go to the bathroom, so I'm just waiting outside the bathroom for Julio. And then all of a sudden, I see this guy in this like fresh ass, like sparkly striped suit with like a man in all black right next to him. And this guy with the suit was wearing, I mean, it was Anderson Paak. Immediately I was like, that's Anderson Paak. And I was just standing there, and there was like people around, like in front of the bathroom, like, you know, people walking by, and I was just, my jaw was dropped. I'm pretty sure his bodyguard like saw my jaw drop. I was like, and I was looking around at everybody walking by. I was like nobody else was reacting, and I was like, but then Anderson Paak, he obviously needed to pee. Like he went to the bathroom, and I was thinking like, oh my God, Julio is gonna freak the fuck out if he sees Anderson Paak in the bathroom at Dodger Stadium at an Elton John concert. Like, this is like, he's not gonna be okay. Like, but I can't go in and like be there for him, because like it's the man's bathroom. Like I can't go in right now. And then Julio walks out. I see him walk out. First of all, as soon as Anderson Paak went in, I texted Julio like, Anderson Paak is in the bathroom. Like, say something. Julio, obviously, he has his phone, but he didn't check his messages. So he walks out, and I'm like, did you see my text message? And then he thinks I'm like looking at him weird because like his fly is down or something. He's like, oh, what? And I was like, oh, You don't know what just happened. You literally just missed him. Like, I cannot. It is so funny, but like devastating to think about. If I didn't go to the bathroom with Julio, like if I stayed in the seat, if it's like, oh no, you go by yourself. If I didn't go to the bathroom with Julio, Julio would never have known that Anderson Paak was in the bathroom with him. Like, that's fucking crazy. So, anyways, Anderson Paak comes out. We run after him and just tell him like how amazing he is and how much we love him. And I literally said, and there was not a stutter in my voice. Like, we were both very calm. Like, Julio was speaking like very eloquently. Like, I think so was I. Like, I felt it because I felt like the shakes in me, like when I was speaking to Phineas, right? When I was speaking to Drake in my dream. But in that moment, I was like, no, like there's like we are such huge fans of Anderson Paak. I'm not going, like nothing is gonna mess up this moment. And I literally said, I'm like, because we were talking about how we went to see Silk Sonic in Las Vegas, and Anderson Paak was directly looking at me, looking at my face, and I just go, it was the best show in the fucking world. And he just like smiled so big. He was so nice. Like, he's so easily, like he was on his way out and he so easily could have been like, I'm in a rush. Like, I can't talk. But he stopped for us and he was so gracious and nice. And when you run into a celebrity, there's always like this after effect of like, oh, well, first, like, I wish I didn't stutter so much or wasn't so nervous, but also like, oh, I wish I said this. Oh, I should have said this. But even, I think we had the perfect amount of time with him. We said all nice things and he was very gracious with us and kind. And I think that there wasn't a wrong thing we said. And yeah, there are other things that like I wish I said or like Julio wish he said, but it's fine. I think it was the perfect moment, honestly. Like, I think us meeting Anderson Paak in that moment was the highest form of art. Like, I really do. We were in shock after. Like, our hearts were beating so fast like after the fact, but I feel like during it we were very calm and yeah, we weren't like seemingly like crazy and like weren't like annoying. We didn't ask for a picture. I'm so glad that we had that moment with him because we love him so much and we've seen him grow so much over the years. And yeah, there's just like so many things we could have said. Like, I'm the one who found him between us two. Like, when his tiny desk came out, like the day that it came out, I watched it. I sent it to Julio. I'm like, you're gonna love this guy. This guy's amazing. And we've seen him like 5 times since, sometimes for free. Like, we were front row at like a free charity concert, and we've been the very back row in the very back corner of his Silk Sonic performance at the Dolby Theater in Las Vegas, and it was the best show in the fucking world. And I'm very grateful that we got to have that time with him because it meant a lot to us. And yeah, I know like he gets people coming up to him all the time, but like it was just cool. It was a really cool thing that happened at an Elton John concert, like really like astronomically cool for Julio because he's seen like his top favorite artist in the past like few months, like Anderson Paak, Bruno Mars in Las Vegas in August, Steve Lacy last week, Elton John last night, and then like topping it all off with like meeting Anderson Paak at an Elton John concert was just the highest form of art. I want to end this episode by going back to my maid of honor speech, and you can listen to it on TikTok. I have the full version on TikTok. My TikTok's just Threema. And yeah, well, one, I'm really proud of myself for preparing so much for it. I'm so glad that it was received well and that Olivia and Matt liked it. And like I said, like that night of the wedding, like I was so sad for a lot of reasons. But the main reason was like I don't want this night to end. Like I want to stop it. Like I just want to stop time. But the thing that really helped me not be so sad that night is everyone's really gracious compliments and remarks about my speech, and this, like, I don't know, like this intense validation that I had from everyone at the wedding, like saying like how amazing my speech was really, it was so nice and not something that I take for granted. And it was just really special to me because I know that I worked so hard on it. Like everyone who complimented me, I was just brushing it off like, yeah, like it should be good. Like I've been writing it for years and I've been practicing it for months, and yeah, like it should be good. But no, I'm really proud of like the hard work I put into it, because it's just a once in a lifetime thing, you know? This one man, who I think was an old neighbor of the McBratneys, of Matt's family, when he was complimenting me on my speech, he was like, "Do you do public speaking for a living?" And immediately I was like, "No." I don't think I even said what I did. I was just like, "Oh, no, like, no." And then we kept on talking, kept on complimenting my speech. And then he asked me again. He was like, "Are you sure that you don't like speak for a living?" And then I thought of you guys. And I thought in my head, oh, well, I do have a podcast. Like I do. I mean, NMJC, like, yeah, I don't, it's not my way of making a living, but I do speak on it. Like, it is a hobby of mine to podcast. And one of the major reasons why I wanted to start a podcast, aside from just me being a huge lover of podcasts, is that I wanted to improve my speaking capabilities. Like, I wanted to get better at speaking. I wanted to get better at funneling the thoughts from my mind and my heart out into speaking. Like, I'm so bad at speaking, but I've gotten a lot better. I think. I don't know. You guys be the judge of that. But anyways, when he asked me again, I was like, you know what? I do have a podcast. So I think that allows me to practice speaking in front of people in like a weird way. Like, I'm just talking to myself, talking to my computer, but I'm still like practicing speaking. It's kind of like a long form speech, you know? And he was like, that's it. That's probably it. That's probably why you looked so like calm, cool, and collected up there. And yeah, it was just like a really nice compliment. I would just like to thank you guys for listening, for being a part of this NMJC community, for listening to me speak. And even if nobody was listening, like, I would still be doing this because I love it. I love this. And this is, you know, I was talking about like overworking myself and, you know, getting really burnt out about working so much, but this is never a source of burnout for me. Like, I love doing this, and it's just like a fun thing to do. And I just appreciate anyone who listens. I really do. And anyone who reaches out to me to tell me that they listened or to talk about a certain part of the episode. Like, I appreciate it so much. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you for being here. And thank you for listening. I have a good question for the end of this episode. If you had to meet any celebrity ever, you can pick any famous person, who would you want to meet? And what would you say? What would you say? Because maybe that opportunity will come to you in this lifetime, you know? And if not, maybe it'll come to you in the afterlife. Maybe you someday will face your hero or face somebody that you really admire, and maybe you won't have the words because you'll have too many emotions going through your body. But what would you say? Think about it. Okay, guys, thank you for listening. Love you so much. See you next time. Bye.
Nothing much, just a chillin'.